only that minister who ruined the immigration system, the ruined the housing market, could simultaneously repeat a promise while breaking it.
Right.
It was last week that the Liberal promise of another, yes, that's right, a Liberal promise is a prop. To prove his incompetence, I'm glad he brought up the issue of border security, because we asked the government in an order paper question last week whether they'd keep their promise on 1,000 new border guards. They got back saying not only have they not hired the 1,000 more, they have no plans to do so. More incompetence from this public safety minister. When will the Prime Minister fire him? Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, I must admit that I've never seen this before. On Monday, a minister said that his own program would not work. He was caught on recording saying that. Then on Tuesday, he announced that he would go forward with the program. He was right on Monday. It's a waste of $750 million, which will be taken away from our border and police services. It will be used to go after hunters and sports shooters. Will the Prime Minister sack this minister? Thank you for the question.
Let me just take this opportunity to talk about the compensation program that we launched today. The pilot will take place in Cape Breton. There are roughly, yes, I want to thank the colleagues from Cape Breton for their support, but I also want to thank the police chief, as well as those who are going to step forward and apply for the rebate, Mr. Speaker. This is smart policy. We're moving forward on it, and I fully believe that we will be able to implement this throughout the country over the next year.
But he said the exact opposite in the recording, Mr. Speaker. He admitted that confiscating $750 million worth of our arms will not work. And he even made a promise to his renter. He promised to hire 1,000 border agents. Meanwhile, 400% of firearm crimes are from firearms that come up from the border. He lost 600 dangerous criminals somewhere on our streets, and he doesn't even know how to define a firearm or what's a dangerous firearm. So he's not capable of doing his job. Will the Prime Minister sack him?
Mr. Speaker, public safety are not binary choices. You could do both, Mr. Speaker. We can ensure that guns are off our streets by ensuring that people who are able to turn in their firearms are able to get compensated for those prohibited weapons. That is what we're doing with the launch of our gun buyback program today. We will continue to make smart criminal justice reforms to ensure that criminals are off our streets and bail is tougher for repeat violent offenders, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I have to admit, Mr. Speaker, in all my years here, I've not seen this before. On Monday, a minister says that his program won't work. On Tuesday, he says he's going ahead with the program, a program that will take $750 million away from frontline border and police services to go after Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle. A waste of money that police say they won't implement, and that the minister was caught on recording saying they will never implement. He even promised to bail his tenant out of jail if he breaks the law. When will the Prime Minister fire this minister?
Mr. Speaker, let's be clear. If Grandpa Joe is using AR-15s to go hunting, I think we have to have a much more serious conversation about hunting. What we're going forward, Mr. Speaker, are 2,500 prohibited weapons, AR-15s that are killing people around the world, including those in mass casualty incidents in Canada, Mr. Speaker. If the leader of the opposition wants to have a real conversation about crime, he also has to have a real conversation about guns, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, that minister did have a real conversation about guns. He was caught on tape admitting that his program won't work because it will go after legitimate hunters and sport shooters rather than after the 80% of guns that are used in crime which come illegally across the border. He admits that his $750 million program won't work. He offered to bail his tenant out of jail if he breaks the rules. He lost track of 6,000 foreign criminals in our country. He admits he doesn't know what a gun license is. More than half of Canadians don't feel safe under his watch. Will the Prime Minister do the only thing that will secure our country and fire this incompetent minister?
You can't be
be serious about public safety if you're not serious about gun crime? My honourable colleague on the other side of the House raises concerns about the illegal flow of guns across the border. When he was in government, he made cuts that made it easier for illegal guns to come across the border. Mr. Speaker, we're going to be adding 1,000 officers at the border. He also has campaigned on a commitment to legalize assault-style weapons and claims they're used for hunting. There are hunters in my community I'd love to introduce him to. They don't shoot deer with AR-15s.
Mr. Speaker, it seems the Liberal strategy is to say that the public safety minister is not incompetent enough to be fired because they have, by comparison, an even more incompetent Minister of Justice. I guess everything is relative, Mr. Speaker. And I'm glad that to prove his incompetence, I'm glad he brought up the issue of border security, because we asked the government in an order paper question last week whether they'd keep their promise on 1,000 new border guards. They got back saying not only have they not hired the 1,000 more, they have no plans to do so. More incompetence from this public safety minister. When will the Prime Minister fire him?
Mr. Speaker, with respect to the commitment to hire 1,000 officers at the border, I would point my honourable colleague opposite to the election campaign platform that Canadians across the country, including of the riding of Carleton, supported to make sure that we would defend our border against the flow of illegal guns and drugs into Canada. Mr. Speaker, for years I have watched Conservatives brush away gun crime as something that's completely unserious, pretending that it's only law-abiding people who shoot guns in this country. The fact is there are criminals who shot innocent people. We are going to do something about it.
Mr. Speaker, is incredible. Only that minister who ruined the immigration system, the ruined the housing market, could simultaneously repeat a promise while breaking it.
Right.
It was last week that the Liberal promise of another, yes, that's right, a Liberal promise is a prop.
The honourable member knows that he can't use props. Yeah. Okay, the honourable member has 15 seconds left, so we'll start the clock again.
Mr. Speaker, it was just last week that the minister's own department revealed that they are breaking their promise on 1,000 new border guards. They say they are not only have they not hired the 1,000, but they haven't even developed the plan to do so. That is the responsibility of the public safety minister. He's broken the promise. Will he be fired?
Mr. Speaker, on April the 28th, Canadians gave this government a mandate to do many things, including hiring a new 1,000 CBSA and 1,000 RCMP officers. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker. It's obvious that the Leader of the Opposition doesn't understand the hiring process, nor the plan and the work that goes into hiring these 1,000 exceptional men and women who are going to serve this country. I want to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to welcome the leader back into the House, but also ask him, maybe this is time for him to take his security clearances so he can actually do his job properly.